Hello there folks, it is TIJ Gaming and welcome to a new Snooker 19 gameplay video. Today I'm going to be showcasing the online mode on the game, which I haven't actually delved into yet, so I'm quite excited to have a look at this. But we're probably going to be playing an online versus match, as well as just having a look around the online tournament, which is now active for the Betfred World Championship, which of course starts on Saturday in real life, and I am really looking forward to that. But if this is your first video of mine on Snooker 19, I fully recommend you subscribe to the channel. There's plenty of gameplay already out on the channel, as well as a Neil Robertson career mode, which will be coming every day at 6 PM, so you'll get your snooker feed every single day. Now, I tried these online modes about 5 minutes ago, and they connected, but typically now we're going to struggle to connect. But what I'll do, I'll keep trying to connect, and when I find a match, or when I can actually match make, I'll let you know and skip to that point. And as quick as a flash, it's happened. Brilliant. So, we basically on the online versus mode, you pick a player, the other person picks a player, and you just do a matchup between those two. So, I'm going to go with Neil Robertson, the player who I am playing with in my career. Interestingly, there's no, I don't think there's a, no, there is actually. You can play with any queue, but it seems that you have to unlock all the waistcoats and all that, which I believe you do by playing online. I might be wrong, but I believe you do this by playing online. So, winning online tournaments, finishing possibly in the top 3, I don't know, that maybe even first in the World Championship or any other tournament that's going on at the time. Again, I'm not really sure because we haven't really had much intel on the online mode, but I thought I'd have a look at this for you guys, particularly you guys who haven't got the game yet and would like to see it on some online gameplay, because I think there hasn't been much gameplay online so far, so hopefully I can provide some for you today. But we've finally been able to match make in terms of getting to the player selection screen, but it might take a bit of a while perhaps to find a match. Here we are then, we've found a match. We're playing against Jimmy White and we're playing against Formender 58276. So if you're watching this video by any chance, hello there. It'd be brilliant to see how good you are. You might be the best player on the game, and in which case I'm going to get absolutely thrashed. But it'd be great to see the online mode. Again, it's a 20-minute match at maximum, and the shot timer is 30 seconds, just to make sure that, you know, nobody takes the mick. But it's a little bit frustrating if you're getting out of a difficult snooker, but realistically it's enough time to play the ball. Now, in terms of my shot, I've not seen any lag. Let's see if there's any lag in his shot. Not the best break, does leave a red available to pot. But here comes Formender. Let's see what the gameplay's like, what the physics are like online, and what the lag is like, if there is any. But I'd be really impressed if the servers are good. I've heard from several sources, actually, that the servers are quite good. So let's have a look. I mean, there's no lag there at all, is there? Very impressive. I mean, to be fair, there's not really much for the game to render, because all it's rendering really is the fact that he's taking the shot. So that's just going to be computed to the player. And there might even be a delay there. I'm not really sure how the code works in terms of that, but that would probably make sense. It's not like a Call of Duty where every millisecond, or Formula 1 for example, where every millisecond of the game is so important. But this shot timer might come to fool him here a little bit, because he's going to have to struggle on this black, but he's only got 5 seconds left to play it. And he's going to play this black, and that's not far away from the pocket. Ooh, it's just missed. I think it's going to have to be a safety for us now, because there's no way we can get anything into that pocket. Nice to see that, well, is it nice? I'm not really sure. Let me know what you think down in the comments. But you can only play one-frame matches, it seems, at the moment, rather than bumper matches. It would be a little bit of a shame, you know, if you were to do, I don't know, an online league on this game, let's say, try and actually replicate the World Championship. Because I think what happens in-game is that basically the online tournaments are just, you play at the Crucible, and you get points winning every game. There's an online leaderboard, so it increases competition in that way, but it doesn't actually replicate the World Championship. So if you wanted to do that, let's say, online with a bunch of people, then possibly you would be able to do that if you could play more frames. Equally, you could play the World Championship over one frame, but it wouldn't quite have the spice that the World Championship usually does. Now, there's a long red on here, I think. Is that?
Works out quite as intended.
It's a tricky one. We might as well go for it. Again, we haven't got long to take this, so we're just going to go with our gut here. Good pot. Cracking stuff. And the black should be, you know, should be a good shot here. But there is the blue if we wanted to pop that as well. Of course, online, you are limited to the Pro Aiming A, which I think is brilliant. You know, it normalises the play for those who play on amateur. It's a little bit of a challenge, but for those who play with no aiming aid, it sort of normalises the feel, because it makes it accessible. You can't expect somebody who plays on amateur to be able to play, you No, just potted the black. I was going to go for the blue. That was the biggest disaster in the world. Don't worry, I do know how to play snooker. Don't worry about that. Going to require a bit of a fine cut here. Good pot. Possibly a little bit too hard, but we should be okay. But yeah, it does make it accessible, which is something I really like about this game. You know, just in general, it's really accessible to everyone. You know, if you want to play an amateur aiming aid, pro, master, all the way up to, of course, no aiming aid for the purists out there. But I'm playing on the pro aiming aid, so this is no different to my career mode. I can imagine for those who maybe are playing on amateur, it might be a bit tricky, but for 3/4 of players, if you kind of take a law of averages, it should be fine for them. Now, this is going to be a bit of a tricky one. This isn't touching ball or anything though, so should be okay. As I say, it's quite tricky, but I do find this shot timer's absolutely fine. As I say, if you're probably getting out of a tricky snooker, it might be a bit of a problem, but at the moment, it's not too bad. I do quite like to play quick snooker anyway. I don't really like to sit about and wait too much, so I don't think that's too much of a problem. But we've got a bit of a tricky blue on here. I haven't quite mastered these shots yet.
The long pot's on, and he's going for it.
We certainly are. Well, there you go. That's a pot. I don't know if we're getting lucky here or what, but we're actually building up quite a decent break at the start of this match. The chap who's playing as Jimmy White won't be too chuffed, but to be fair, Fullmender doesn't look too bad. You know, he potted a good red there at the start of the match. We haven't been able to see much of him yet. Might give him a chance in a bit, but I'm just gloating at the fact we're making a good break at the moment, but this might be end of break. But I'm really impressed with the online servers. Obviously, we haven't really had much chance to see his shots, so we can't really see how the servers cope with other shots, because obviously it'd be fine with your own shots, but with the other play it might be a little bit tricky, perhaps to keep it in time. But I'm impressed at the moment that blue's not going to go, so just give him a chance to play. But we've given him quite a tricky shot to play, really on the bulk cushion.
Neil Robertson, 19.
But it just adds a little bit more of something to the game, this does, because the AI are quite hard to play against from the start, you know, but playing against a real player adds that little bit of, I don't know, it just adds that little bit of normalisation again. It just means that you're both in the same boat.
Well, it goes.
Like with me, you know, I'm not that brilliant at the game yet, but really, is anybody going to be making 1-4-7s every break yet? No, I don't think they are. That's an unfortunate shot. Just about missed that, but it's a fine one on this red. Got a little bit of a gap, not too much, only an 18-point gap, but that now increased to 19 now we've potted that red. Good pot. Now we're going to play the yellow. Obviously, there is only a match countdown of about 20 minutes. We've took about 6 minutes so far, and I have to say it's gone really quickly.
He's attempting to sink this.
But 30 seconds is about right, I think, on the shot timer. As I said earlier, unless you're getting out of a really tricky snooker, you should be able to meet that quite easily. As I say, I play snooker quite quick, so potentially it might be a bit tricky for other players, but for me it's fine. Let me know what your experiences are down in the comments. You know, is this 30-second shot timer enough for you guys, or not quite? That red is a little bit off, so we give him another chance here to play. But we're not doing too badly so far with Neil Robertson. I'm just glad we're not playing against someone who will clear up, because that would make things a little bit embarrassing for us. Saying that, he could clear up from this point. Taking a little bit longer over this shot. I don't know if it's just because I'm too quick, perhaps, and don't take enough time. But I would have just potted that red straight away. Straight on, bang, in the pocket, get on with your break. But he's running it a little bit fine here on the shot timer. Ooh, free. Ooh. Ooh, just about. It's a little bit like a shootout snooker there with the beep beep on the countdown. I wonder whether, I suppose it would be, if you hadn't hit the shot, you know, if you lined up the shot and hadn't hit the shot by 0, whether you get a foul. I don't think that's particularly realistic, really. Potentially there could be something to sort that out. You know, as long as the shot's kind of lined up by the 0-second mark, and then perhaps they get an extra 10 seconds if they're close to the timer. I'm not really sure if that could work, I think. Because I think 30s, as I say, with particularly difficult shots, and for people who like to play the snooker a little bit slower, it seems this player is one of those who likes to play a little bit slower. Which is absolutely fair enough, you know. Again, it's accessible to everyone. I'm just ridiculously quick, and that comes well sometimes, you know. It gives good reactions and just goes with your gut and doesn't mess about too much. But at the same time, it can come to ruin because you take a shot which isn't right and you just go for it. But he's running it fine again. I think he's going to miss this. 3, 2, 1. And that's time. And that's very weird. So is that just like... Oh, okay. So that's what it does, isn't it?
Jimmy White, 8.
So decision time. Yeah, I'm just going to play this because it's a fairly straight pot. Peculiar why he didn't play that. But I'll tell you what, imagine if you were 1 point off winning the frame. And your controller ran out of batteries or something. Jesus Christ, that would be horrible. Oh, God.
1.
I would be cursing at the telly quite strongly. And that wouldn't be pleasant. But let's try and get into a decent position for a red here. This pink isn't a foregone conclusion. But it's there. And the commentators and the crowd seem to like that. I can't tell where we're playing, actually. I didn't honestly see where we were playing beforehand. We're not playing in the online tournament, of course. That means we're not necessarily playing at the Crucible. Good pot on the red. Where's the cue ball? Ooh, just about okay.
8.
Well, I think we will win this frame. No, it's not going to be the highest scoring one because of the fact there's only a few reds left. We need to stay on the table, though, and this pink's going to be tough. Ooh, I feared it might have just gone just wide, and I said before about the fact that this shot timer is something that I can use to my advantage, but then is a disadvantage as well. I mean, I've got plenty of time. I should have just lined that shot up and got on with it. But hopefully he plays the shot in time now. I'd like him to give me a bit of a game here. What's he going to do? There we go. He's back again. It's all right. That's a good pot on the red. So he's certainly not incapable. Again, I would guess he's a player that plays on Pro or more to just spot these reds and be quite accurate in his potting. You know, I don't think he plays an amateur. That's quite clear. He might even play with no aiming aid. I don't know. No, good red that was, but he needs to be quick about it. I think the black's probably his best opportunity here. He could go for the yellow, but he needs to catch up in terms of the points, so a black would be the best shot, but he might run out again, but he's going for the pink, and that's a cracker. Well, I'd have never seen that pot in my life. Really good eye there from Jimmy White. Let's call him Jimmy White, even though it is Jimmy White, but of course it's being controlled by Formender 58276. Bit of a mouthful. To be fair, I bet they're looking at my game and taking going, what the hell is that? It's Jonesy with 1, 2, 3 in the middle, but I had to improvise when I made that gamer tag because somebody else had already got the name Jonesy, so I had to put 1, 2, 3 in the middle of it. And oh, that's a close red. Really unfortunate, but gives us good position on this red, which funnily enough is hit just out of coincidence on the way back.
Jimmy White.
But unfortunate on that red, just to miss it. And that's what's happened with so many of my shots so far. You know, you've got so close, and it's agonising because it just hits both the jaws of the pocket, and of course it just goes. But it's nice that the pockets are unforgiving. It gives you a little bit of a challenge. See, we can afford to hit the green here. We could have gone for the black, but just to make sure we do win this, I'm going to go with the green. Good pot. Give it a good hit back down the table. Definitely going to get any brilliant position here. Oh, this red might go actually by the pink. Let's see. No, I didn't think it did. And this one will touch the ball on the way through. So I'm not very good at these, but I'm going to go for this pot on the cushion. A little bit too soft that was, and nowhere near the pocket either. So again, gives him another chance. But can he get through? I think he can still get through to that ball, despite the blue and the brown being there. But just over 8 minutes left in the maximum of this match. Be a little bit of a shame, for example, if you were quite close, say if you were both on, I don't know, 40 points, and you were playing a safety battle and the match countdown ran out. You know, perhaps there could be something when there's I don't know, because I've only played this mode this time, so it might be an option. But say if there's 30 seconds to go, there might be an option to say, right, if you both want to, increase the timer, then that ought to be an option. But obviously both players have to agree to it. But that's within reason, because if, I don't know, let's say, play it, so I'm going to be chasing a break of, I don't know, 60 to win the match. But of course he's ahead. Of course he doesn't want me to continue. You know, he wants to win the match here, there and then. So things might have to be changed a little bit just to make sure that works. But these are all ideas again. I'm really liking the online system. That's a nice ping. But it just seems flawless. There's no lag at all. And it's just like the single player game. Again, I said before that there's not really much for them to code in here in terms of online play. Because you're only really watching their shot, which is exactly what happens in career mode, for example. So it only has to render those few seconds when they take the shot. And as I say, it might even be a delay. A slight delay in the shot, just in the time it gets to get to your screen. I'm not really sure how that works. But we've got just over 6 minutes left in the game. We've played quite well here, actually. This pink takes just over 50 points. And that red will put us in the middle of the pocket. And I think with this red and another colour, we will win the frame. And, of course, the match. Now, we could take this red, or... I am going to take this red, to be honest. The one on the middle pocket can be a bit dubious. So we're going to take this red. Try and get some screw back on this.
Important pot here.
Tricky pot, though. Could go all wrong, but no, it's gone just about right. And that's nicely on the black. But as I said earlier on, if you've got to this point, I'd love it if you could subscribe to the channel. There's plenty of Snooker 19 gameplay out on the channel. If you want to see more online gameplay, I'll be happy to give it to you, folks. Maybe in terms of the online tournaments at the World Championship. And I am thinking tomorrow night, because this is out on the Thursday, if you guys wanted it, I could do a live stream, just broadcasting some bits of the game, and maybe even playing some of you guys. I am on the Xbox One system, so... Ooh, just missed that one there. I am on the Xbox One, so if some of you guys want to play me, even if I don't do a stream, I don't mind doing a video against you guys, you know, kind of play the sub sort of thing. But there we go, we have won. It's a bit of a shame, really. I don't know if he conceded or not, but I think it was perhaps just because the frame was over in terms of points that game ended already, or maybe even he forfeited. But we won that match, that was good to see. 60 points was only 16 from Jimmy White, but I'm very impressed with how the online gameplay plays. It's very crisp, you know, pretty much flawless, and I can't really comment too much because obviously we had a lot of the play, so it would have been him watching us most of the time, but nonetheless... I think that played really well, and I want to play a bit more online in the future. So as I say, if you fancy the idea of a stream or want to play me online on the Xbox One, you can of course send me a message on the Jonesy Gamer Tag, and I'll be happy to put that gameplay on the channel just for a bit more Snooker 19 gameplay, and maybe get a bit of a league started. I don't know if there's 5 or 6 of you want to start a league or something like that. That'd be absolutely fantastic. And I'll maybe get that on the channel. But we'll see what happens. If you guys want that, leave that down in the comments. But for now, I've been TIJ Gaming. That's been a bit of Snooker 19 gameplay. You can continue your journey here at TIJ Gaming if you click on one of the elements of the end screen to go to an existing video. But apart from that, if this is your end of the journey, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye for now.